This summer was really, really hot. How much worse could it get?
Yes, we do see a high chance for 2024 to become warmer than 2023. And that's because of the El Nino phenomenon in the Pacific. And actually, we see the impact kicking in this year already, with July being the hottest month ever, alongside with at least 10 climate records broken this summer. So next year could be getting even worse. And there is supporting evidence from a record-breaking sea surface temperature and the unprecedented extent of shrinking of polar ice. The SST is hitting record levels because the ocean absorbs more than 90% of the excess heat caused, which means the more greenhouse gas we emit, then the higher the fever the oceans could get. On the other hand, Antarctica is also melting at an average rate of about 150 billion tons per year, while Greenland also losing about 270 billion tons a year. So definitely is underscoring the urgency for us to combat against climate change.
Which industries or sectors do you think will be most directly hit or affected?
Well, we see 4 industries could be more directly hit, including insurance, energy, hospitality, as well as agriculture. So for the oil refinery, we see that high temperature actually would impact the efficiency and hence lower the production rates. Shipments could also be affected by the drought at the major canals, such as recently the Panama Canal. For the insurers, the impacts will be more obvious given the higher payouts and settlements, which has exceeded $100 billion a year, with the claims caused by storms, flooding, and wildfire increasingly more rapidly. For the agriculture, the severe dry weather in Asia also sent the rice price in August to the highest since 2008. Last but not least, hospitality. Many hotels or resort locations are actually highly exposed to extreme weather, such as storms and droughts. An analysis done by STR found that about 1/3 of the U.S. hotels are in the low-lying coastal areas, while 70% of real estate or hospitality clients report at least 9% increase in insurance premium in 1 year.
Of all the terrible consequences of climate change, last night I was just reading about how climate change is making the world hotter, so you have more air pockets in daytime flying, and you know how much I hate flying, so that was another thing where I was thinking, oh my gosh, I mean, you don't even think about these things. Michelle, is the world actually doing enough in order to fight climate change?
Certainly not enough there. We could do so much more out there. We saw that actually the current pledges by the countries by G20 could only cut global emissions by 5 to 10% by 2030, while the Paris Agreement target requires a 30 to 45% cut, according to the UN. Having said that, we see a huge variance across regions. While many countries, particularly those in the EU and in North America, have actually already peaked their emissions as far back as 1990, but some of the emerging countries or highly emitting nations in Asia, such as China, India, and Indonesia, which together account for more than 36% of the global emissions, have either not reached the peak emissions yet or have not committed to any peak emissions yet. So we hope the climate declaration sealed at the recent G20 summit could pave the way for more aggressive or ambitious targets to be set at the COP28 in later this year.